Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hidden Hockey Podcast. My name is Matt Gordon. Just working through a couple of technical issues for today's stream. Once I have that, I will be ready to go and get started here. Let me just take this one off real quick. My previous stream I had on here, I apologize, did not work. So I'm going to send it around to a couple people, make sure they have it. So give me a few minutes here before we start, and I'll go into a preview of everything going on with the World Juniors and talk about today's games, what's going on with these games and different things like that. So let me just do this real quick. Jumping on in just a few minutes, gents. So let me just get this started here. Having a little bit of technical difficulties as the stream starts today. And I'm going to get started here shortly. Up here for this. Updating the community tab. So I'll be up in a second. Let me just update this post that I have for this, and then we will get started here. All right, let's get started here. So, again, for those that don't know me, my name's Matt Gordon. I'm with the Hidden Hockey Podcast. I'm going to be talking a lot today about the first game. Obviously, is going to be Sweden and Slovakia. Sweden and Slovakia have a bunch of different prospects in this tournament. We're going to go into how many there are. There's 15 of the 32 NHL Hockey League teams have a prospect in this tournament. If you're a St. Louis Blues or a Nashville Predators fan, please know that there is a ton of different players for you in this game coming up here. That game will start at noon Eastern, so in about 53 minutes here. I apologize in advance for the technical difficulties this morning. For whatever reason, the live stream, when I went to go start, it didn't work. So for the four of you that are on here, greatly appreciate you going on here. Feel free to leave any questions as well. I'm going to talk a little bit before the tournament starts about predictions I have, as well as some different things. I'll be putting in some live stream clips every once in a while. I can't do the full live stream, obviously. But once the live stream is up, I'll provide the link in the chat below so you can watch it yourself. And I'll give you live play-by-play as well as the game goes on. I'll be going back and forth between my computer and then another computer I have off to the side and watching the game. So, St. Louis is obviously, they got 4 prospects going into this first game here. Nashville has 3. As far as with Sweden and Slovakia's roster, I'm going to go ahead and load one of the rosters here so you guys can see. Let me present here, and I'll share my screen for the Swedish roster to start. So the Swedish roster is interesting. You have a couple different guys here. I think the main prospect to really watch for is Axel Sandin Pellikka. He's going to be a really important player for them. Was the defenseman of the year in last year's World Juniors. Obviously, this is his last opportunity, but he's doing really well at the pro level, along with some other prospects. They're playing really well in the NCAA level and different things like that. Another prospect to really look for and watch out for is Otto Stenberg. I'm expecting him to have a really big tournament, somebody who can come in and really dominate at this level. He did really well at the under-18 level last year, and I would fully expect with the start to his pro year and what he's been able to do that he's going to be a really impactful player. And then for draft-eligible players to watch out for, another guy to watch is Victor Eklund. He's the brother of William Eklund, who plays for the Chicago. I mean, not for Chicago. Sorry, for the San Jose Sharks. Victor in itself is right now slated to be anywhere from the top 10, maybe even being a top 5 pick in this year's draft. Really good playmaker, good opportunity, good skill set. Is somebody who, sits more on the perimeter, but is a very good playmaker, can get you probably in his prime anywhere from 30 to 40 assists at the bare minimum at the National Hockey League level. Doing really well, actually outproducing another 2025 draft eligible in Anton Frundell, who has struggled to start the year. I had him as my early 2 to start the year, but he's dropped in my list or somewhere around 7 or 8. I will do an updated mock probably post-World Junior with my probably top 15 to 20 picks of guys who are for sure first-rounders in my opinion. And we'll see what happens here going into the rest of this. But Sweden, to me, is a team that's got some warts. If you watch my World Junior preview show that I did a couple weeks ago, you can see that their roster I think is a good roster. I think it's got the potential to be a medal contender, but I don't see it being better than Canada and the U.S. So I think they're going to be somewhere in that 3rd to 4th place range, depending on what happens. But I think their weakness really is at the goaltending spot. They don't have that dominant player like they have in the years with Wallstead and some of the other goalies that have come in and played really well at that level. So, to me, I don't think it's as strong as one would like it to be going into the rest of the tournament here. So I'm going to go ahead and share, and I'll talk about the Slovakian roster now. The Slovak roster, to me, is a little bit weaker this year. You obviously lose the likes of Slavkovsky, you lose the likes of Simon Nemec. Philip Machar isn't in this tournament. I think there's just a lot of different pieces that can still be, important pieces that they won't have this year because of that strong 04 class they have. The main guy they're going to lean on is Dalibor Dvorsky. Was able to get his ability to get into the AHL. Get away from the AHL and be able to play in the World Junior Championships. So it's really interesting to see what he'll be able to do and how he'll be able to lead. Defensively, they're going to be led by Maxim Sturbach, who plays at Michigan State. Maxim's going to be a guy who's played now at, I believe, 2 under-20s. He's going to play at the World Juniors now, be a veteran presence, and really lead this core into potentially pulling an upset here with Sweden. I don't see it happening, but if they were to have it happen, it would be through their strong defensive units. Miroslav Shatan, big kid at 6'7", was drafted last year. He's a guy to watch for as well. I think there's a ton of good skill, good potential out of him as well. And it should be exciting to watch his game and other things going forward through the rest of this tournament. As far as draft eligibles go in this tournament, there's 3 guys to watch for in particular for this year, and then even one for 2026. So of the 25 eligibles, the guy to me who's going to be the biggest impact is a guy who played here last year in Luka Radivojevic. His dad was an NHL defenseman, played for the Phoenix Coyotes for a long time. Shorter guy at about 5. He's probably closer to 5'11" now. It's listed at 5'10" on Elite Prospects and about $170. But he's a kid who's going to be expected to put on a lot of different roles here for the Slovak team. Him and Sturbach are probably going to be the top pair, followed by Peter Valent and a few other players that have gone on to play in North America and do really well. Another 2 players to watch out for, a guy who's done pretty well in Finland is Jan Chauvin. Jan Chauvin is a really high-end offensive forward. To me, he's going to be a guy who I'm expecting to fit in the middle 6 here for Slovakia. Doesn't have this elite skill set just yet, but I think he's a guy who he's going to find himself probably in the 3rd or 4th round going in this upcoming draft. Really like his overall game and what he brings to the table. You're not going to expect the best defensive effort out of him, but his offensive creativity is interesting. Definitely a guy to watch for and look out for going into the rest of the tournament. And then another guy who has played well at the pro level is Tomas Pobizal. He's had his opportunities as well in North America. He has found his way. He's a late born 06 who's just now eligible for the 25 draft. I would expect Tomas to be probably in the second to third round range. He's going to definitely be somebody that teams covet. A bigger guy, I want to see 6'2", and he's listed at 5'11", but I think he's more so around 6'1", 6'2". I think it's an old height. And a guy who's going to really bring an opportunity for them to, be in the middle six. He might play in the second power play. Has the opportunity to kind of go and probably line match against a lot of different guys. Mainly another offensive contributor, but a guy who should come into this tournament and have a pretty strong impact, being able to play at the pro level. And then the 2026 draft eligible in Tobias Tomik. A lot to like with this guy. I had him really aggressively ranked for 2026 about 12 months ago. I had him somewhere in my top 5, top 10. I think he slides more to the first round for next year according to his current projection. But this is a guy who's definitely got some upside. He's going to maybe have a breaking out party here with prospect followers. A guy who has played at the pro level now in Slovakia. He's dominated the under 20 loop in Slovakia. Definitely somebody to watch out for and look to see if he is able to break out and have a really strong tournament. At the very least, if he doesn't do it here, he's got the opportunity of the under 18s in April. He will have an opportunity to be a major factor for the Slovak under 18 team once they're playing in April for the U18s. So then we're going in here to, I'm going to jump back on here. Again, for those who just joined on here, again, my name's Matt Gordon. If you're a subscriber, great. You know the drill. You can answer any questions. You can put anything in the chat. Be willing to answer any questions regarding the World Juniors, regarding this game, regarding, the next game coming up with U.S. and Germany. The full schedule for this is, Sweden and Slovakia play at noon Eastern. Then at 2:00, the U.S. and Germans play. Then you have the Swiss and the Czech Republic are playing at, I believe, at 5:00 Eastern. And then the big night game is Canada and Finland. That one has got a lot of different things going on in it, a lot of different players across the board. And then the two teams that aren't playing yet that will play tomorrow are the Kazakhstan national team and the Latvian national team. So a lot of different games going on today. I'm going to do my best to put some streaming into this so that way you guys can watch a little bit of the game. At the very least, I'm going to put a live stream link below once I have a stream that's completely available so that way you guys can follow as well. Going into the rest of the tournament here, we have the U.S. and German game comes in at 2:00. In this game, like I said earlier, 15 of the 32 NHL clubs are represented in the Sweden-Slovakian game here. It's going to start in 40 minutes. The St. Louis Blues have 4 prospects in this. Nashville have 3 in the game coming up. So if you're a Blues or a Predators fan, stay tuned for that. Carolina and Buffalo have a couple guys, and then Detroit obviously is Eric Still, Sandin Pelika. The U.S. game that has 17 different NHL clubs represented in it. New York has 3 prospects. Buffalo's got 3 prospects in that game. Anaheim, New York, Chicago, and Nashville all have 1. All have 2, and then obviously Detroit has Trey Augustine starting for the U.S. in goal. And then the Swiss and Czech matchup has about 13 clubs listed in there. St. Louis, again, has 4 different prospects in that game. So, again, if you're a Blues fan, stay tuned to this feed. You're going to have a lot of opportunity for me to talk about your prospects. At the very least, you got 8 different people playing. You're going to want to have an opportunity to learn more. And then the Canada-Finland game, the big game tonight, going at 7:30 tonight, has 22 different NHL clubs represented in it. The Kraken have 5 different prospects between Canada and Finland. Philly has 4 different prospects. Minnesota and Pittsburgh have 3 each. Then, the San Jose Sharks, Utah, and Nashville all have 2, along with Vegas. And then, various others have 1 prospect in there as well. So if you're interested in that, then you have a bunch of 2025 and 2026 draft eligibles that are playing today, including even a 2027 draft eligible that I'm going to talk a little bit about now, and Joel Neuenschwander. For those who don't know, Switzerland just released their final roster yesterday, and Jonah Neuenschwander is a 2009 born who just made the World Juniors. That is incredibly rare. There's only 5 15-year-olds who have ever made the top level of the World Juniors, usually coming from lesser tier nations. 3 of them came from Kazakhstan, and I believe 1 was from Belarus in Andrei Kostitsyn, who played for Belarus at 15. Now this is a bigger nation in Switzerland. Joe Neuenschwander, to me, was a surprise that he made the roster, but it's interesting to see where he will go from here. Again, a 2027 draft eligible, so there's still a lot of time for him. He's still he's a double underager even for the under 18s coming up this year. So he's a quadruple underager, which is not very common. And like I said, there's only been 5. Should be really interesting to watch, see what he does in this tournament and the impact he has. I would expect that it's pretty minimal. But he's a name to watch here for Switzerland, not only through the tournament, not only through the under 18s, but going into the draft cycle in 2027. He, to me, will probably be a top 60 guy based on what he's been able to do in his projections. And I think going to the World Juniors as early as he is going to be a major league experience for him. So going into the rest of the rosters now, I'm going to go into different, teams that, the teams that aren't playing today. I'm going to probably go into, those are curious for the other 2 teams that aren't playing. I'll go through their rosters real quick and give a quick preview on that. And then again, if you guys have any questions, regarding the World Juniors, regarding the NHL draft, whatever you want to put on here, there's a chat on the side. I'll be willing to answer them. I'll put them up on the stream, and then we'll get into a little bit of discussion, engagement, whatever you guys want to do to talk more about the different players that are not only in this tournament but throughout the prospect world to go on there. So feel free to leave any comments off to your right hand side, even if they're NHL drafted prospects. I'm more than willing to talk about whoever you guys want to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead here and stop my screen. I'm going to go present here and I'm going to start about the Latvian roster because, despite the fact that Latvia is on their roster, I think, is in the tournament, I think there's a ton of really interesting players on this roster. And I really think that, honestly, they're my favorite to finish 5th right now. That's how highly I think of the Latvian roster. They have a lot of different prospects to watch out for. So we're going to go ahead and start with the guys that are already drafted. One guy in particular that's already drafted, an 05 born, in Eric Matejko. He's a 6'6" kid. He's about probably closer to 200 pounds now. He's played in North America for a few years now, still playing the QMJHL. A really interesting prospect. I think a guy they're going to have to lean on a lot to have the opportunity to do well here. But it's very encouraging to see that these guys are going and playing in North America and also being really successful. He's been a very good impact player at the Q level. Now we go on to some other players that are drafted. The only other player that is drafted, I should say, for Latvia is Daryl Uljanskis, who's a defenseman, has been playing in Sweden, has played in Switzerland, and is now back in Sweden playing at the under 20 level over there, and has been a really interesting player for AIK. This is a guy who they're going to lean on defensively, obviously. It should be really interesting to see where his game goes and what he's able to do to help, this Latvian team play against the teams like Germany, Switzerland, and various others within their group. And then obviously, they're probably also looking to avoid playing Kazakhstan in the relegation round. So it should be interesting to watch them going forward. Different prospects that are, the real strength in this roster is the 07 and the 08s. Guys that are eligible for this upcoming draft, Bruno Osmansis is playing at the under 20 level, has had a disappointing last 18 months, but a guy who I thought was tracking towards being a second or third round pick, probably closer to a later round guy now. But a guy who's been pretty, he's played at the pro level now in Sweden for a couple of years. Now playing, I believe, in the Allsvenskan, or was at one point. He had a couple games in the Allsvenskan, now back at the under 20 level. But a guy who is interesting in his own right. I think there's a lot of good potential, good ability with a guy like Bruno Osmansis. Should be really interesting to watch what he's able to do going forward, and I'm excited to watch him play. Another guy who I'm paying attention to for Latvia is Daniel Sirkins, playing at the under 20 level in Switzerland. This is a guy who has blown it up in a lot of different leagues. I started out actually in England, which is an interesting place to start. Played up until about 14 or 15, and then had to move up and played over in Switzerland, and has really played well. Actually, he's over a point per game at the under 20 level in Switzerland right now. This is a kid to me who's a prime example of a guy who could get some CHL import action. Definitely a guy who I would think you would want to draft if you're a CHL candidate, or if you're in the USHL, you're going to want a player like him who's been very impactful at the junior level. The next natural step is for him to move into North American juniors and see what he can do at that level as well. Definitely a guy who you want to look even for draft radars. He's probably bigger than 5'9", 163. I would think he's closer to 5'10". I think there's just a lot to like in his game. A very smooth offensive contributor. I would expect him to do pretty well even at the under 20 level. Here at the World Juniors. This is a big tournament for him, and a guy who, despite not having a ton of elite U20 experience, I think he's going to be able to really contribute for this Latvian team, be an important factor. And now we go into the 08 group. I'm going to talk about all four of these guys. All four of them are really interesting players for the world, for not only here, but for the U18s. Going into this tournament, Rudolf Bruce-Collins, he's playing Division I hockey. He will be playing at a very high-end level. He already is at the USHL level. Hasn't had the strongest start to his USHL career. I think he's got like 9 or 10 points in 25 games. But the adjustment has been huge. Came from the U16 loop, came over to North America a couple of years ago for Bishop Kearney. With their major, their selects program and their really good, talented program they've developed over the last 5 years. This is a kid, really good skill, good ability. Should be really interesting to watch to see what he does in this tournament. I would expect him to probably be a bottom 6 guy for them, with the opportunity to maybe chip in on a power play. It should be really fun to watch. Similar upside is a guy in Martin Klokans, playing at the North American Hockey League level, so Tier 2 junior. In North America, this is another guy who has acclimated himself to the pro level really well. Not necessarily a point per game, but he's one of the more impactful U17 players at the North American Hockey League level. Should be really exciting to get him this experience. I wouldn't expect him to have a major impact, but he's a guy to watch past this tournament and going forward. Another guy to really watch for here is Oliver Smerniks. He's had a major league impact already at the USHL level, just under a point per game as an 08 born, which is super impressive. I think he's going to get a top 6 role here for Latvia. I think he's a guy to watch for in the first round in 2026. Really like his overall skill set, and I think he's got a major league upside to his game. Should be fun to watch him going forward. I have him just outside my first round right now for 2026, but I can see him being a guy with good production and a good impact here, maybe moving himself into the first round here for 2026. Should be fun to watch his growth in his game going forward. And then the last guy I want to talk about here is Robert Snodins, who is a massive kid playing for Shattuck St. Mary at the USC, the high school prep level. This is a guy, he's 6'6" and about 190 pounds, an absolute force at that level. Has been over a point per game at the prep level, the youngest kid on their prep roster. He's not eligible till 2027. So Robert Snodins is a name you have to watch out for going into this tournament. I think he's a guy who can really impact even, playing at the prep level. I think he's going to have an opportunity to really surprise some people here. Get the opportunity to go and maybe get a couple points at this level. But there's a lot to like with him. I think his upside is through the roof. You can't put a cap on a guy that's 6'6" and 200 pounds, but has also produced. It's just really exciting to see that kind of player come out of Latvia. And, obviously you look at a guy like Eric Matejko, that's a great leader for him. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened with the stream there. That was weird. The dog's barking too. Go figure. So yeah, going on to Robert Snoddians, he's just a really interesting player to watch and somebody to watch going forward for the rest of this tournament. So now going into Kazakhstan's roster, I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen and then go ahead and share. I'm going to close the door here. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I'm going into Kazakhstan's roster. I'm going to jump in here. There's only one draft eligible for them, and one drafted prospect for Kazakhstan, and that's their goaltender, Vladimir Nikitin. He will be the key to help them avoid relegation. Should be really interesting to see what kind of impact a guy like Vladimir Nikitin can have on this level. Obviously, he's had his experience here in North America, played at the BCHL level for the Chilliwack Chiefs. Interesting player in his own right. Didn't really do an unbelievable job at the BCHL level. Probably was closer to 3 or 4 goals a game. But obviously somebody who's used to a North American rank, has been able to play at a higher end level, has not played levels as high as this has been, but a guy who is definitely used to playing at really high end levels. Should be really interesting to watch what he does going forward for the rest of this tournament. And we'll be able to see what happens going forward for this group here. So really, not much to say for them other than their goaltending really is super strong. Another guy who I want to mention who's an interesting player is, their forward group is interesting in its own right. The guy who I think is the most impactful guy to watch is their 06 born and Asanali Sarkinov. I would expect him to be a major league contributor for Kazakhstan. He's going to be the guy you're going to rely on for scoring. He will probably play on a line with Abzal Alibek, and probably get either Lyupanov might play with them or Davlat Nurkanov. Both players that are also interesting players to watch for. Have produced really well in Finland and in the Russian leagues respectively. Both guys who you're going to look to see, and you're just rooting for Kazakhstan to be the real underdog in this tournament. Obviously, the last time they were in Ottawa, they played Canada and lost 15-0. So this is a big gap and a big adjustment for the Kazakhs. Hasn't really been able to get back to this level in a while. So it's important for their hockey development to be at this level. They're obviously a team that you want to root for if you're looking for the underdog. But I fully expect them to be the leading relegation candidate. Don't think there's a ton to really watch here with them, but we'll see going forward. I'd be excited to see them go and get an upset. It'd be very cool to see what could happen going into the rest of this. So I'm going ahead and I'm looking for live streams here. So I'm going to go ahead and share a stream when I have a good one. To see if I can find anything here. But that's going into the rest of the tournament there. The 2 teams that aren't playing, I just want to review their rosters real quick and get a good insight in terms of what they're able to do. I do have a good stream here, so I'm going to maybe share this in the chat for those interested. Let me get this to you guys here. Go ahead. Go ahead and click on that one if you guys are interested in having a live stream. If it doesn't work, let me know. But excited to talk more about the different players that are available on this draft, as well as different players going into this. So we have a half hour before the first game starts here. Should be interesting to see what happens for the rest of the tournament. And obviously with Sweden and Slovakia, we got a couple of really interesting players to watch going into this tournament here. Again, for those who've just joined, I do have a stream listed off to the side there in chat. If you don't see it, let me know. I'll see if I can put more streams out there. But it's fun to see what kind of players and what kind of people we're gonna be watching here in this tournament here. And if I have a good stream that I'm able to stream and get on here, I might put a couple clips just to get a few people interested. But that being, there you go. So I'll share that. Let me see if I can get this tab out real quick. So that's so far what's happened in the game. Dalibor Dvorsky with the first goal, Jacob Chromiak with an assist, as well as Martin Sturback, or not Martin Sturback, Maxime Sturback with the assist as well. A couple penalties in the game, nothing too crazy. Again, for those that have stayed on, thank you so much for staying on. Obviously, I knew that was going to be an issue. Once the content came up, that's why I reiterated so many times. So let me get in here with different things, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them on the chat below. Like I said, draft eligible stuff, international hockey. I talked a little bit about the Wings firing with Derek Lalonde. Justin had a couple questions in there that I greatly appreciated about what I think about the hire, what's going to happen, what's happened with them, different things like that. So greatly appreciate those that have been able to subscribe to the channel, and much appreciated for those that are continuing to follow along. Is greatly appreciate you staying on here. So going more into Sandine Pelka's got the puck right now. As far as standouts from this game so far, not really a ton of standouts. I would say, most people would say the obvious goal scorers, but even Dvorsky hasn't really been that dominant in this game. Sandine Pelka just threw a massive hit for those following along on live stream. That was a really nice hit that happened. Nice little classic hip check. Wings fans can be pretty excited about that. Again, for those that have not tuned in, who don't know, again, the live stream link will be right here. So I just put that in the chat for those interested. Got 3 minutes left in the first period here. .239 left. Shots are 5-5 right now for the game. Again, like I said, Slovakia and Sweden. It's surprising to see Sweden be as flat as they are. They have not started off very strong. Again, no real standouts out of the first period, in my opinion. If I had to, nice save by Urban there. If I had to give a favorite for who the standouts were right now, I would say that, if you gave me one player for each team right now, I think Urban's been really solid for Slovakia in goal. And the best Swedish player has probably been Unger Sorum. He's been pretty impressive through this. So, again, for those that have joined on, thank you for doing so. I did have a stream up earlier. Since I've moved off of it just because of legal reasons and different things like that, I did leave a link to the side for those interested in live streaming themselves. Again, the score is 1-0 Slovakia, as you can see here on the box score. I'm going to talk a little bit more about games going into the rest of this here, and during intermission, I'll get more into what my thoughts are on the game so far. Not a lot to take away from this game so far, in my opinion. I think there's just been a lot of back and forth action, a lot of neutral zone action. A nice hit from Sandine Pelka, a couple of nice saves from Samuel Urban. But outside of that, been a very up and down game. Not a lot of opportunity or a lot of scoring chances. So I would assume it's because it's international hockey. You need some time to warm up. These are new teams. You're going to have the opportunity to kind of get more action, more things happening in the second and third period. You might hear some distant audio from me on the stream, and if you do, that's fine. No big deal. Yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens going for the rest of this game here. But That's my early opinions on the game so far, and 2 minutes left in the period here, so still a lot of time for action. But again, if you've subscribed and been engaged in the content, greatly appreciate you guys staying on here. Really appreciate those that have jumped in here and want to learn more about international hockey. If you could do so, please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate you guys being on here. I'm going to talk a lot more about, my thoughts in the first intermission of, both what the Slovak team and what the Swedish team has done. If you guys have any questions, leave them off to the chat below, like others have done. Greatly appreciate you guys being on here for the content. And I might jump back into live stream. We'll see, depending on what goes on. But again, greatly appreciate those that have tuned into the content and have stayed on here. So really appreciate you guys being on here. So, Otto Stenberg just scored. Oh, no, they call it no goal. Okay. So what happened on that sequence there, Otto Stenberg was on the goal line, Urban down, tried to bank it off his back. Looks like they called it no goal, but I don't know if they're going to review here. Let's see. Ooh, that's close. Yeah, they're going to review right now. It is close. It might be a 1-1 game. We'll see. So you got they got the cam here. Yeah, it doesn't look to be in. Not in. Nope. Nice save there by the defensive player. And number 28 would be sorry, I'm gonna get his number here. 28 is Thomas Kralovic. Made a nice save there to save a goal. Nearly 1-1 Sweden. Likely going to be called off. No goal here. Urban's been really the standout, I think, for Slovakia in this first game. Exciting to watch what he's been able to do. That was close. That was really close. Luke's got a chat in here. Do you like the tournament? This is my favorite tournament, honestly. This and the under-18 tournament. Under-18s partially because this is the last opportunity for a lot of draft eligibles to, cement themselves before the 25 drafts. So I'm going to be really excited when that comes around in April. But the World Juniors is the World Juniors for a reason. Obviously, it's a really, really important tournament. A lot of NHL teams are here. Obviously, everybody sends their top brass to go and scout and, scour for the really high-end draft eligibles that are out there, as well as, those that are drafted to get a book on them. Thank you for the question, Luke. Greatly appreciate it. And, we'll see what we're able to do for, the rest of the games here. For the Germany-US game, am I doing it? I'm going to see what I can do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go all day today. If I do, I'm going to probably break it out into 2 parts. So we'll see. But greatly appreciate you guys that have stayed on for it. And it looks like it's no goal for that Slovak goal like we thought. Stream's kind of getting jacked. So 1 second here. Yeah, I called it no goal. Minute 25 left. Puck in the Slovakian zone. And let's take the face off here. Luke's on here. It says Canada and Finland may be good. I would agree. I think Canada and Finland to me are two they're good rosters. I think Finland is going to be on the outside looking in from a medal perspective. I just don't think the depth is there like the Canada, the U.S., and the Swedens. Obviously, depending on what happens in this game, this could have a major impact as well. I think Sweden has got to come out here and be a little bit more aggressive than they have been. It seems like they're starting to do that towards the end of the period, where there's a lot more, ability to do things. And, I think that Sandin Pellikka hip check made a major difference to change the momentum of this game. But, the Slovaks have come out really strong. They've had a really good team game so far. Obviously, being that a lot of these guys can play together and have the opportunity to play together quite a bit, I think it's made a major impact for them. And, it's obviously showcasing itself quite well. Again, Samuel Urban, I think, has been the star for the Slovak team so far in this. And, but it does seem like Sweden's coming back here and finding their game a little bit in the back half of the second period. Luke, do you plan on streaming any NHL games? Unfortunately not. No, I don't have any need to do that. Like for me, this is a different channel. A lot of people can do the NHL games and different things like that. NHL tends to be really sensitive about, having their media out there, where IHF is a little bit looser. So, it just depends on what people can do, and, we'll see what happens here. But, Sandin Pelika just had a nice shot on net for his Sweden. Nice stop by Samuel Urban. Yeah, so it should be. But no, I don't plan on doing NHL games. That was a good save, though, by Samuel Urban. Again, and then for those who just joined, greatly appreciate you guys. Got a lot of new subscribers, obviously, because of the live stream, but also just because you guys are engaged in the content. So greatly appreciate you guys, being on here. It's fun to be able to chat with like-minded people that are interested in hockey. So first period just ended, and obviously a little behind the live feed, but yeah, so greatly appreciate you, Luke. Plan on hanging out here for a lot of games. Well, you're in the right spot then, man. I'll be doing my best to provide as much coverage as I can from the World Juniors. Obviously, I got a life, though, so I got to do what I can to, use the time I have wisely and do my own things in personal life. But, again, thank you for being on here. Thank you for subscribing. And, again, like I said, any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat below on the side. And, I'm going to, looking to watch a lot of hockey, and I'm excited to talk more about the prospects and give my perspective as I watch a lot of these guys throughout the year, and tend to really talk a lot about them. So thank you for that, Luke. Thank you for the comments, and like I said, for those interested, please leave any comments in the chat on the side. Greatly appreciate you guys being in on the feed here. I got some latent people that have sat on here, so greatly appreciate those that have gone on and subscribed. Started off the stream at 179. We're up to about 191. Please share with your friends and family too. Like those that are interested in hockey, love to have you on here. Love to talk more about it. Love to talk about draft eligible guys. Love to talk about international hockey and all forms of hockey, really. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them on the side. Greatly appreciate you guys being on here. And so and then Luke, I watch AHL. I do what I can. I got a Flow Hockey membership, so for those that are interested, Flow Hockey is a really great way to watch different forms of international hockey, different resources, things like that. So encourage you guys to, if you're interested in international hockey, to get a Flow Hockey subscription. So how many minutes? Luke, I want to say it's an 18-minute intermission, so we got some time here. I'm gonna probably not leave the stream, but just jump off here in a few minutes. I'm gonna keep this up and I might keep the feed up. Maybe we'll see. But again, for those that have stayed on, greatly appreciate you guys being on here. It's cool to see that people are engaged in the content, want to stay on. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Would love to have you on here. Would love to have you more focused on, talking about international hockey, doing different things. So greatly appreciate you guys that have been able to stay on the feed and really engage in the content. It means the world to me. And excited to talk more with those that are interested about hockey as well. So. So, like I said, 1-0, guys. The Slovak goal was from Dalibor Dvorsky. Nice shot in close. He was able to put in past Melker Thielen, second shot of the game for the Slovaks. Exciting game so far. Or not necessarily the most exciting game so far, I should say. There's just a lot of up and down action, very north-south game. Not necessarily a ton of offense in the game. There was a near goal to tie that was called off earlier in the game for Sweden. Called off rightfully so. Just barely sat on the line, so wasn't necessarily the opportunity there. But again, it was just interesting to be able to talk more about the different games and things like that. So I think Sweden has come out very soft in the first period. I think the Slovaks have come out with more jump. Very well coached so far from the Slovak team, which isn't always the case with Slovakia. So good opportunities for them to grow and learn more and get better. And should be exciting to see what happens here going into the next little bit. Super excited to see where this team, where this game goes. I think, Slovakia, if they continue the momentum they have right now, I think they have a real opportunity to upset here. So it should be exciting to see where these guys go from here. And with that, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Just got to take care of a few things, and then I will be back on stream in just a few moments. So I'll pause for now. Leave any questions in the chat on the side, and I'll answer them when I get back. So give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, everyone, I'm back. Again, for those that have just tuned in, please subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate you guys if you could. I got the live score up here. You can hear a little bit of the audio from my live stream, but if those interested in the live stream, it's livetv.sx. We greatly appreciate you guys being on here. Just trying to grow this family a little bit, grow the subscription. Obviously, I can't do the full live stream for obvious reasons. But those that are tuned in, greatly appreciate you guys being on here, and really excited to talk more with you about the games going on today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these up into little live streams. So I'm going to do, I might do this as like the day one for, Sweden and Slovakia. Might take a little bit of a break, and then I will probably jump back on here with another live stream for US and Germany, and keep that going, and then have you guys go back and forth. So that game's on at 2:30 Eastern. It'll probably be half hour after this game ends. So I will have more content for the US Germany game. Do a live stream with you guys, similar thing to this live party. Give a preview of the game, talk about the game throughout, and give my honest analysis through the game so far. So greatly appreciate you guys being on here. If you're engaged in the content, please subscribe. Would love to have you on here. Would love to be able to talk more about international hockey with you guys, and greatly appreciate you guys going on here. But obviously, I'm going to stay on here through probably the duration of the game, take a break, come back in about a half hour, do another live stream, and then we'll go from there. But obviously, still the first period, I'll be on here for a while. And, for those that are interested, again, greatly appreciate you guys being on here, and being able to subscribe and engage within the content, and also just grow my feed a little bit more. Greatly appreciate you. So, I'd like to get to over 200 if so. If you like the content, you like international hockey, you like the NHL draft, this is the channel for you. Please stay on, please subscribe, and, look forward to having you guys be able to engage and talk more about international hockey. So greatly appreciate you guys that have been on here. I'll be doing probably a day one recap video as well, talking about the videos through the day, and talking about the games throughout the World Junior Championships, and give my honest feedback and analysis of the games that have happened so far in this tournament. So again, for those that have stayed on, greatly appreciate you guys being on here. I'm super blessed to have you guys on here. We got 13 people on here, which is great. It's good to see that people are engaged in the content and willing to work in talk hockey. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat on the side. Otherwise, look forward to having you on here for the rest of this, and greatly appreciate you guys being on here. So. As far as the US Germany game goes, coming up here at 2:30, my thoughts on it. Obviously, I don't see Germany as being a super strong team in this tournament. I think their age group is actually kind of weak for the 05s and 06s. They're missing one of their draft prospects, and Kevin Bicker is hurt. They have a few guys that are, draft eligible guys, but nobody that I would consider to be a really high end player by any means. So it should be interesting to see what kind of team comes out here. And I think the U.S., if they're composed and they stay, really smooth through everything, they're going to have the opportunity to really, continue to, put out what they should, and I would expect that game to be probably a 4-5, 6-0 game, something like that. So I don't expect much from the German roster. I actually think they're more of a relegation candidate than Latvia is, than Switzerland is, and should be interesting to see what happens going forward here. But we're just under 2 hours here so far on the stream. Got 11 people on here, which is great. Greatly appreciate you guys being on here. It's really terrific to have you guys on here. Up to 17 now, which is awesome. Again, if you guys are engaged in the content, you guys like international hockey, please subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting out a lot more draft content, putting out a lot more video content. And I'll be putting up as many of these live streams as I can, and staying as opportunistic as I can for those interested in watching World Juniors. So again, thank you so much for staying on. Thank you so much for subscribing. Any questions off to the side, like I said, you can leave them on the side chat there. And greatly appreciate you guys for being able to be on here and be able to engage in the content as well. So much appreciated. Again, if you guys want a live stream link, the channel or not the channel, but the what I use is called livetv.sx. That's the link I normally use to stream these games. So feel free to go on there and do some, find the game on there. I'm just here to talk about the game, give my honest feedback, give some commentary, as well as talk about the rest of the World Juniors and the tournament going forward. So again, for those that have been on here that know my content, know the subscription, know how things work, please, do yourself a favor. Please subscribe to the channel. Again, we greatly appreciate it. So, looks like the second period is going to start any minute here. We got Dalibor Dvorsky got the only goal in this game. Again, not the most exciting game so far. We'll see what happens here going into the second. Maybe it opens up a little bit more. William Jacques, I just made the comment. How do you stream the game? You're going to want to go on livetv.sx, and they'll have feeds that, they'll have live stream feeds on there for the game. Otherwise, I'll be putting on this is like kind of a live commentary, getting more questions, different things like that. Those that are interested in learning more, would love to have you on. So thank you again for the question. Thanks for commenting in the chat on the side. And those that are staying on and would like to do so, you feel free to do that. Excited to have you on here and talk more about international hockey. So. Second period just started. Sweden's in the zone here. Slovaks just got the puck. Sturbach, nice takeaway from him there. Turns the puck over. Sandy Pelk had a nice opportunity. Good stop by Samuel Urban. Urban's been the early star in this game so far. Definitely been really impressive to watch him and how steady he is in net. To me, he's been the player of the game so far, along with Sandy Pelk has had a really good game, and Felix Ungersorum has had a really good game as well. So should be interesting to see how these guys impact here and continue to impact through the rest of the game. Slovakia just got a steal. Good save there by Melker Thielen. Good save there. Again, for those interested in the live stream, it's just livetv.sx. Again, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm talking a lot about international hockey, a lot about draft coverage with the 25, 26, and 27 drafts. You can hear a little bit of audio probably from the background for my stream. But thanks for those that have stayed on and have watched. And, hopefully you stay on and continue to watch. Again, really, this game so far has been really sloppy. As junior hockey normally is, but Sweden has come out a little stronger here in the second period to start. It was all Slovakia in the first. I think they're fighting their game here, but the Slovaks they've come out to play. I think there's a real shot here. If Sweden can't score and Urban keeps playing the way he is, there's some real potential here for the Slovaks to pull off a nice opening game upset here in the tournament. So, should really be interesting to see what they're able to do here. But it's been a good start here for Slovakia, and obviously, like I said, it starts with their goaltender Samuel Urban. Sweden just scored. Rasmus Bergqvist just scored. It's 1-1. We go ahead and update the it'll update here, but it's going to be Rasmus Bergqvist at the goal. Sandy Pellica with the assist. Nice shot past Samuel Urban right on the glove side. Great play, though, by Sandy Pellica. Saved it on the line there. A nice play to keep it in the zone. But, yeah, Sandy Pellica just scored. Sandy Pellica with the assist. Bergqvist gets the goal. Scores past Samuel Urban, and it's a 1-1 game, guys. So, Sweden, like I said, has controlled the momentum a lot in the second period. Slovaks have come out really strong in the first period, but now the momentum seems to be changing towards Sweden. This is a real opportunity here for the Swedish team to really come out and be demonstrative. Looks like a second assist was just added for David Granberg on that. So it's Granberg and Sandin Pellica assisting on the goal from Rasmus Bergqvist, who is a Montreal Canadiens. He's a Montreal Canadiens draft pick. I believe he was I want to double check. I think he was a 6th round draft pick for them in 24. 7th round draft pick in 24. So nice goal from him, a nice wrist shot. For those, again, interested in live streaming this, go to livetv.sx. They have the stream there. So, an HD stream as well. I'm following along with it myself. And, thanks again for those that have stayed on and have subscribed to the channel. Greatly appreciate you. I'm going to be talking more during this. And if you have any questions or want to chat with those alongside here, feel free to leave them in the chat. And, just excited to talk more about hockey with you guys. So greatly appreciate you guys and what you're able to do here. So, we're excited to see what we can do going into this. So, again, if you have any questions, please, leave any questions in the chat below, whether it's World Junior related, whether it's NHL draft related, whatever you want to chat, feel free and we'll engage with you on here. So, again, like I said, 1-1 right now. If you have here, let me take this off here. I didn't realize this was still on the corner. You can get rid of it. So Sweden just had an opportunity here. Nice save by Samuel Urban. Victor Eklund made a nice opportunity here. Victor Eklund's a draft eligible 2025 kid, so he likely is going to fall in the top 10 here, but nice to see him make an impact in the game. Bergquist, nice stop again by Urban. Sweden really coming on here in this period, finding their opportunities. Slovakia has yet to have a shot on. Finally gets a shot on goal. Actually, right on Melker Thielen just now. But right now it's all Sweden here in the second period. So excited to see what goes on here for the rest of this. Just turned over the puck now. Sweden's got it in the offensive zone. It's going to go now to didn't see who that was, but they just waved on the shot here. Battling in the corner over here. We got a stoppage in play. 14 minutes left here in the second. Still a 1-1 game. It should be exciting to see, what happens going forward here. But this has been a tale of two teams so far. Both teams have had an impact. Obviously, Slovakia did in the first period. Sweden has made more of an impact here in the second. Exciting to see what we can do here for the rest of this going in here, and obviously excited to see what we're able to do from what Sweden's able to do from here, though. Player of the game for me so far has been Samuel Urban, followed by two Swedes and Felix Angersorum and Sandin Pelika. The goal scorer on Bergquist made a nice wrist shot. Just clear beat Samuel Urban. Dvorsky, other than the goal, has really been kind of not there. There's really not a huge impact made by him so far. Good opportunity there from Sweden. Nearly misses on the net. And then, again, for those interested, thank you for subscribing on here. I don't have the stream on here fully. I did the first few minutes of the stream, and then, if you guys are interested in more, obviously it's just livetv.sx has a stream for you guys available. So feel free to engage in that content and, see what happens here. But about halfway through the period here, icing here, and going into the Slovakian offensive zone. Again, not, Krlovic here had a nice shot on net, was tipped in front, nearly went past the post here, and just missed the net. Krlovic has been a guy who wasn't expecting to have an impact in this game, but he's been pretty good for Slovakia. He's saved a goal already. Not necessarily the biggest known guy, but he's done a pretty good job just being smart. Just finding his way and his opportunity and making an impact in the game, which is good to see. Like I said, if you're a Blues fan in this game, you're excited. There's a lot of different things going on. Obviously, Delvor Dvorsky just scored. Scored in the first period here, and Otto Stenberg is played a lot in this game. Hasn't really been super impactful, but he's been there. You look Pekarčić has been an interesting factor through this game. Nothing that's been overwhelmingly great, but nothing bad either. And then Theo Lindstein has so far no weird defensive plays, no bad major turnovers. So should be interesting to see what he's able to do the rest of this game. But he's played okay so far through this, and Good stop by Samuel Urban here. Makes a nice save again. 15 shots on net for Sweden, 7 for Slovakia. And, continuing another icing here. Halfway through the period so far. Halfway through this game so far. Again, a very up and down game. No team has really taken a hold of this yet. But, just an interesting game nonetheless. So. Hello, everyone. For those, again, who just joined on, please subscribe to the channel if you like international hockey content, you like prospect coverage, right in my wheelhouse. So, if you like that content, please encourage you to look at my previous videos and subscribe. So. Slovak on the charge here. Just missing here in the zone. Still got it in the offensive zone. Ooh. Sweden's turning on the Jets here. Been very dominant in the last couple minutes in the offensive zone. Finding their opportunities. Nice steal here from Unger Sorum. Ooh, Unger Storm nearly scoring there. That was close. Big elbow that was missed from the Slovaks. Uncalled there, but Sorum, nice shot, gets blocked by a Slovakian defender, and then they cleared out of the zone. Unger Sorum has really been impactful in this game. I will say that. I think he's been the best Swedish player. Him and Sandin Pellikka. Pellikka has been, I'm expecting a little more from him, but obviously it's very early on, and there's some more to give here still with the Swedish roster. Good stop here by Samuel Urban now. Made a nice play there. He's got 16. He's got 15 saves so far in this game. But finding his opportunity here. Sturbach made a really bad turnover just now. And feeding it up to the Swedish player. And Samuel Urban continuing to make saves here. 16 saves now for Samuel Urban in this game. Been super steady in this game. Nothing that he's made like maybe 2 or 3 really big saves, but he's just kept the Slovak team in it. It's been really interesting to watch and see what he's been able to do. But Samuel Urban's been pretty damn good in this game, and he's been the backbone for them. In this period, he probably could have scored a couple times, and he's been the reason why that this game's still tied at 1. Again, as always, thank you for engaging in the content. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for staying on here, and continue to pump out more content as we go forward here in this tournament. And might do a short recap video after this for those that missed the tournament, missed the first game of the tournament. So. Got 7 minutes left in the period here. Sweden continuing to put on the juice here, and they're finding more of their groove here in the offensive zone. Again, for those interested in the live stream, like I said, it's livetv.sx. That's where I've been using. And Sweden continue to just pour it on here, though, in the offensive zone. They're getting their opportunities. It's just, Samuel Urban's been really steady in that. So, it's been a tale of two periods. Slovaks were all over the first. Sweden's now playing a lot better in the second. And, momentum carrying right now. I think, this is a closer game than I think a lot of people expected. But so far, it's been solid. They've played really well. They've been super focused, super determined. And, we'll see what else is going on going forward here for the World Junior live stream. But we're, a lot going on, and it's been good hockey so far. So, good save by Samuel Urban here. Near miss here, but again, like I said, Ungersorum has been the player for the Swedish team along with Sandin Pellikka. It's been, if you're a Carolina Hurricanes fan, really encouraging to watch the play of Ungersorum so far. Good save. Urban, nice save again. It's been all Sweden so far in the second period. Good passing, too. It's been really good creativity from them. It's just, again, a really good, there's been probably 9 or 10 block shots so far from Slovakia. Have been really impressive in the defensive zone, stayed true to who they could be, and they're just finding their game right now. It's good to watch. I think if you're a fan of the Slovak team right now, they're doing very well. Pellikka makes a move down and shoots, and nice shot right in the chest of Urban. Good stop again by Urban. Urban makes another big save. 20 saves so far for Samuel Urban. He's been the guy to watch. It's surprising he is not drafted, if I'm being honest. I think he's a guy you want to look at, and I think he's intriguing. Been real stable in net so far. Not the biggest guy. He's 6'1", about 210. But man, is he good. He's just super solid. At the USHL level this year, he's 331 with an 890 save percentage. He's been the player in this game so far. He's just super impressive. He's going to go to Arizona State He's going to go to Arizona State next year. He's been the talk of this game so far. I think he's been really impressive. It's cool to see what he's been able to do and how he's been able to play in this so far, and a lot to like. Lots of like in terms of what is going on with his game and how he's played so far, and he's been the guy so far to talk in this. I think he's my early first star in this. Especially if Slovakia goes to win, he's a big reason why. So lots of like with him and what he's been able to do so far in this game. Slovakia just got a penalty for holding Martin Kromiak again. That's been Jakub Kromiak, I should say. Sorry, I'm getting him confused. Kromiak's had a pretty up and down game so far. Not something you like to see from a guy who's a 2005 born in this tournament. Clearly one of the guys you want to have support here. Samuel Urban's going to come up big here, and he's got to save this team from their own mistakes. I think that's been the only issue with Slovakia so far is they've taken a lot of penalties so far. I think they've got, let's see here, they got like 9 or 10 penalties so far, or 9 or 10 penalty minutes, I should say, in this game so far. No, a little less than I thought. Okay. So they only have 2 penalties so far in this game, but they seem like they've played a lot more undisciplined than that. Storm makes a nice feed over. Good shot and a great save by Samuel Urban again, just continuing to be dominant. He's just finding his game, man. Another save again by Urban. Urban has been by far the best player in this game so far. Nice block again, 23 with the block from Slovakia. Samuel Barkic. Urban, and he's been dominant in this game so far. He's been impressive. Sandy Pelka scores. Oh boy. Maxim Sturback going off the ice here. He got hurt somehow. I don't know when he did, but during one of the shifts he got hurt. And Sandy Pelka, great shot. Set up nicely by Ungersorum. The two guys who've been their best players so far in this game, contributing here for a major league play and a great opportunity for them. And they've been, like I said, those two have been the guys to watch in this game so far, and they have proven it time and again. Great goal by Sandin Pelika, great opportunity, and he's got to be happy if you're a Wings fan with that goal from Sandin Pelika. Really nice play, good opportunity there, and it's just an unbelievable shot by Sandin Pelika. So it scores 2-1 now. We're going scale this back a little bit. So you got Sandin Pelika on the power play, Tom Alander and Felix Ungersorum with the assist there. Absolute bullet from Sandin Pelika to put it past their bond. Great play there by them. So it's nice play, good opportunity, and good for them to see that going into the rest of this year. So, another opportunity for Sweden, just missed. Ooh. Sandy Pelko, nice shot here. Oh, good save by Urban. End of the period now. And Sandy Pelka, man, he looked really good in the last 5 minutes of that period. That was really impressive from them. Sweden really came on here in the second period, had a really dominant second period. And again, led by Felix Ungersorum and led by Axel Sandin Pelika. They've been tremendous in this game so far. Really impressive second period out of them. Samuel Urban's been really great too for the Slovaks. You know, he's the big reason why this game's even close. Both goals were really nice goals, great shots. It was made. Comment was made in the broadcast by Brian Mudryk that both goals were made by Skellefteå defensemen. So that was cool to see. Great opportunities by Sandy Pelika to score there on his shot, and Bergquist took a nice wrist shot from the point as well. So that was huge to see that go in here. But 2-1 so far. Again, your 3 stars to me are Urban, Pelika, and Sorum. That's been the way the whole game so far. Should be exciting to see what happens going forward for us this year, but excited to see the game and the way they played so far in this game. So just proving time and again that given the opportunity, they're going to go out and they're going to do some good things. So Sweden has played a lot better in the second period than they did the first. Comments, please feel free to leave them in the chat below. Excited to see what else other people are saying about the game so far. And again, if you like the content, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on here. We'd love to be able to reach about a couple hundred subscribers by the end of the night. It would be awesome. Greatly appreciate it. And just super pumped to see what else I can do for the rest of this opportunity here while I'm on the stream. Gone here for 2.5 hours now so far, and it's been a hell of a live stream so far. I'm going to probably do a day 1 live stream part 2 going into the end of this game. I'll probably do one just on US and Germany. Just do a nice watch party for that, and you see what I can get out of that as well. And should be fun to see what else I can do going into the rest of this, rest of the games going forward here. So I'm going to create another live stream with Team USA. And if you guys want, I'll create another live stream for that as well. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. Again, like I said, we got one more period left here for the World Juniors first game. It has been all Sweden in the second period. If you want my analysis on it so far, it's been Sandin Pelikan, it's been Ungersorum. Both of them have been super dominant so far in this game. I really like the creativity and the offensive gifts of Ungersorum, and I think Sandin Pelika has been really great at keeping the puck in zone and maintaining possession. Has had a ton of puck touches. Just been a real fun guy to watch in this. So exciting to see what they're able to do going into this. And it should be fun to watch and see what they're able to do going for the rest of this game. But it's been a really impressive second period for the Swedish team. In terms of, what else is happening within this game. The Slovaks have played well defensively, but they've also taken their penalties. There's some things they got to improve on, things they got to look at going into this here. So they just got to find their groove and their opportunity. They're going to get close, but they just need to get their groove in order. And once they're able to do that, they'll be okay. So um, yeah, it's been the game is, everybody says, you hear that a lot where there's a lot of people that say, hey, the score isn't as close as what the game indicates, but this really does indicate a really close game so far. It's been fun to watch and see their, the growth of these players so far, from other viewings I've gotten from in the past. Like I said, Unger Soren's been super impressive. Sandy Pellica has been tremendous in this game so far. He's been super impactful. Goaltending has gotten a lot better through the second period. I thought Phelan came in and was a little bit more nervous than he needed to be. He's got a really strong group around him. He's just had to find his opportunities. And Samuel Orban has been the backbone of this team so far, and with Slovakia, he's been just dominant. Faced a ton of shots. Um, it's just super impressive to watch and see what they've been able to do in this game so far. So, um, should be really interesting to see what they're able to do going for the rest of this tournament. So, um, should really be exciting here. I'm hoping that there's more opportunity here for the Slovaks to kind of make this a game, but Sweden's done a good job of really stopping those opportunities from coming into play. So we shall see what else is going to happen, and we'll go from there. And at the end of the day, it's either going to happen or it's not for them. So they got to find their groove, find their opportunity, and hopefully they're able to play well as this game goes forward. So. Sorry, everybody. I'm just creating the second live stream here as we're on here. And like I said, Samuel Urban's an 05 born. Hasn't played or hasn't been drafted so far, which is really surprising. It's good to see that he's continuing to play well and do the things he needs to do to be successful. So fun to see what will go on here. And again, for those interested in the content, we got 10 people on here, which is great to see. Please do yourself a favor. Please subscribe. Please engage in the content. We'd love to have you on here. And just excited to see what else will happen going forward for the rest of this tournament. But this has been a hell of a first game so far. Been exciting to see what they've been able to do. And, I expect a lot more to happen here going into the third period. I'm going to come back in a couple minutes. Just got to take a quick break. And I'll be back on for the third period to provide more commentary. Again, one last thing I'm going to say is I'm going to be on here through the remainder of the game. I'm going to cut this stream off. Then I'm going to start a separate stream for the U.S.-Germany game. So if you're interested in staying on for the U.S.-Germany game, I will put a link to that in the comments below. And we'll do more with that game as well. So please do yourself a favor. Please subscribe. Please engage. Would love to have you also on Instagram and Twitter. I have both of those up as well. Excited to see what I can do to help further promote the game and help further talk about international hockey and talk about hockey prospects. So with that being said, I'll be right back. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, and stay tuned to the channel. So thank you.
He's going to take a penalty.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. It took a little bit longer than I expected, but all's well. Third period just started. Sandy Pellica just got a penalty. Took a trip. Of course, it was right after they showed a highlight package of him, so that's hilarious. It was a good hook. Clear penalty. Was interesting to, obviously Slovaks here have a real opportunity to get find their way to get in here on the power play. Not necessarily the smart penalty you would expect to take, especially early in the period to give them momentum. This is going to take a lot from them, but this is their opportunity to make it back in this game here. So they got to find their way. It's fierce. Slovakia on the power play here. Finding their groove, finding their opportunity, but just not many shots on goal. Big block shot by 6. It was a huge block shot there. Axel Hertig with a big block shot.
With 43 seconds left in the minor, penalty to Axel Sandy Pellican. Good power plays have triggermen, and that's exactly what Dalibor Gaborski is. We saw it on the first goal, and he gets himself in a good position, and that's a great shot block by Axel Hertig. Penalty killing. We talk about the goaltender being important, but getting into those shot lanes and being able to make yourself big and sometimes you don't
they just put a stat up here. Dalibor Gaborski's at his 4th World Juniors. So obviously this is a guy who's been here a lot. Needs to find his opportunity here and get himself into this game. Good play by Sweden to clear it out here. 25 seconds left on the power play for Slovakia. Slovaks have looked pretty good on this power play. They haven't looked bad, but obviously they need to find their way to get the puck in ultimately, and so far haven't done so. Good play by Dvorsky to clear it up in front. No dice there. Sweden just got the penalty kill.
Nearly took that away, but it's worked up by Karovic up that right wing. Gustafsson got it back to spin. Walmer up to that pass. And Richard Moran could get it. Moran again. He'll try one more time. Beats the left side. And that was a catch. That'll be into the glove.
And then nice save there by Melker Thielen. Gets a little testy here. Bit of a scrap coming up.
Arizona 5th round pick in 2023, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that after the whistle. So this is earlier in that you can see where the linesman is. Stay on the boards. You're too far away. We don't want to give you too many men on the ice penalty. Sandy Pellica, you saw him come out of the box, taking the penalty. His second career multi-point game at a World Junior Championship. He's got 2 points in this one. And he's now up to 19 points in 15 career games after his tournament.
Good save there by Thielen.
So you talk about Axel Sandy Pellica. Sergei Zubov, I don't even know if he broke his sweat. His ability to just play the game mentally and with such strong sense of what needed to happen, and big-time competitors. They're like, don't be fooled by the way they play or by their size. Big-time competitors, big-time difference makers.
Listed at 5'11", 185. 17th overall to the Wings back in 2023. Right off the draw, Baker was trying for that quick strike. Dvorsky battling for the puck. And Bergquist able to move it up by Stenberg. Off the move. Sturback lined it up.
Sturback's back in the game. Nice trap there.
In this opening game. Now Stenberg. In the back. Felix Gilson comes in to help him. Stenberg. Sandy Pelka across. Gilson shot, and the high tip just missed the net. Under Sora, weaving, drops it off. Sandy Pelka, wrist shot.
Sandy Pelka scored again. Holy hell, what a shot. What a wrist shot. He just absolutely blasted that wrist shot past their mom.
Third point of the game for Axel Sandin Pelican. Just the ability to read the play. As the play comes up, he realizes I can get down. We saw it on the Bergquist goal, and now he just slides down there and just a great.
Holy shit, what a wrist shot. That was an unbelievable play. Sandy Pelka has taken over this game.
All the goals from the defenseman.
That was pretty slick.
And all from Slovakia. So it's working out nice for this team thus far.
Felix Sora comes up high, though, and he just slides it over. But the defenseman has to read that play into the space. And
So now looking 3-1 Sweden.
We'll just keep updating those graphics for you as we just talked about his scoring prowess in this tournament. And now 20 points in 15 games.
And there's Soren come up and just a perfect slide. And if you're a defender and you're not moving into open space in the offensive zone, your offensive attack is going to be a lot weaker.
Yeah, so the clear star of the game there is Sandy Pelka. Absolute riot of a shot.
Last year, and that was whipped right into the Slovak bench.
So I think that's the dagger. That's what she wrote there. I think Slovaks haven't really come closer in the third.
At this level,
But
some of the best defenders in the U20 world. And when you watch them play and you understand how they can play every critical situation in the game and excel, it's a pretty impressive trio of players on this.
But again, those who just joining, thank you for joining on here. Appreciate you guys being on here. Appreciate you guys being able to engage in the content. I might throw on the last 10 minutes here. We'll see.
Shift up to the right side. Using head with Boston at the line. Brings it back to center. Sweden now onside. As Gustafsson skates it in. Nico Gustafsson.
Sweden falling down there.
Bouncing up the line. Comes to center. Brandberg. He'll stop, protect the puck, wait for some help as his teammates change behind the play. 5 minutes gone in this third period. Opening game at the World Junior. Enstrom. For Stenberg. Cutting it with
Stenberg makes a nice cut. Good save by Urban.
That was Enstrom, the late poke in on her band in his pass, and that'll cause a conversation. What a rush of speed, though, from Otto Stenberg.
Changing gear and then attacking inside to the net.
And he can skate. Stenberg can skate, man. That was a hell of a rush.
Get a good shot off, but it's a good drive by Otto Stenberg.
At the U18 level, Craig, you remember it well, Stenberg tied William Nylander's single tournament record with 16 points in a single tournament. He was dynamic then. He's dynamic now. Puck of the line, shift up ahead. Stenberg looking for it. Verlander shields the puck. Battle continues. Verlander digs it free. Back to Hurton. Up for Stenberg. He'll sling it across. That wrist shot. And that
Good save by Armand.
off the wing with a good look was Felix Ungersor.
Now this trio, they know how to attack. It's really
What a
good
shot.
chemistry with one another.
Good save though by there.
They got the skill. They got the competitive juice.
Yeah, Ungersorum though, man. I think it's the 3 stars to me. I obviously Axel Sandin Pellick has got to be the first star. Been unbelievable in this game so far. Second star to me would probably be Ungersorum, in my opinion. And then my third star right now is Samuel Urban. He's been tremendous in this game. Despite what the score says, he's been their most important player in this game. I think he's been one of the better players in this game overall. So
Sweden, good ozone time here again. Bergqvist followed it. Sandy Pelican towards it, knocked down by the stick of Slovak. Promiak racing after it. He'll get there first and ship that to center ice.
Stenberg made a nice play here. Again, we got 13 minutes left in the third here for Sweden, and trying to keep their lead up at 3-1 right now. It's been all Sweden since the first period. Slovaks have had a couple threats here and there, but it's been mainly Sweden possessing and them getting into gear here, and the Slovaks have looked a little bit out of sorts, as I would have expected. But they're Herman Troff just made a nice hit there as well. Good move here.
Lost the puck available to slot. Dvorsky able to clean it up and start the play. Archie taking that hard at center ice.
Dvorsky finding his groove. I think the puck. Really, the only line that's been able to do much against Sweden so far has been this first line of Pekarčić, Jenko, and Dvorsky.
The red line, long shot right to Lee, no problem. He'll play quickly for Hultquist. Hit right. Puck all the way up to Cesar. He's on the move. Maybe a 2-on-2. Cesar. Boyce across, he's still got caught with Campbell, but he didn't play offensively. Good spinning move there from Ungersor, and it's back to Hultquist. He'll play to Gustafsson. Here's Hultquist. Time zipping by here in this third period. Good burst of speed from Felix Nielsen.
Ooh, Nielsen, good play. Good stop again by Urban. So, good stop there.
They're looking for it. And motivated for him from Promiak. Promiak got the center. Backhand feed for trying to set cash towards the front of the net.
Good stop by Thielen.
Get there. Jan Chauvin was cutting in there. He's got 9 goals, 17 points for the U20 Tween in Tampere. He plays in Finland, but what a burst this was. Felix Nielsen in, but he can't cash under net.
10 minutes left here in the third period. Gone for 3 hours now. Really appreciate you guys being on here. Really appreciate all the support, all the love. You guys are terrific. and just excited to see what else I can do for rest of this year. So we'll see. But greatly appreciate you guys being on here. Greatly appreciate the content, and I'll be doing probably like a day one recap video, probably tomorrow morning or later tonight, depending on what goes on. But greatly appreciate you guys being on here. Greatly appreciate the support, and excited to talk more with you guys about the game so far. But so far, Sandy Pellick has been tremendous in this game, um, and it's good to see the impact being had by the Swedish team. They look like every bit the medal favorites that you would expect, and just exciting to see what's going on there. So.
With the Nashville Predators, where he wrapped up his NHL career, and spectating these young prospects here today, Craig.
Borough Cup. Yeah, I have a T-shirt, Borough Cup T-shirt.
375 career games of the Sens.
He played hard. When you're in games versus Buffalo, that's you better be ready to compete at 100%, because he didn't know anything less than 100%.
And a great guy to chat with in the room as well.
Slovakia starting out here, and 10 minutes left in the third on the power play here. Good save by Urban. Wow, that was a massive save by Urban. But, yep, 3-1 here. Going into here now, and let me update the score here. We got it all situated there. Never mind. I'm going to refresh this real quick for everybody so we can see the updated sideways stats as well. Sandy Pellick has 9 shots on goal, by the way.
Sweden will take on Kazakhstan next in group play. We're off to a good start here as Ekstrom to give it go. First shot up high.
Good stop by Urban. Storm looks to be hurt. Let's see if they.
Looks like he's okay. We'll keep an eye on him, but yeah, he's holding his mouth area right now. Kroniak at the line. Little space. Sturback. Big shoot. Big block. Stenberg and broke his stick. Sturback. Stenberg without a stick. Slovak trying to capitalize. There's Kroniak. Far boards. That drive. And again,
Stenberg, 2 block shots, man. Kid's a player. Auto step. There's a reason why he was a first-round kid, man. He's a player. Made a real impact so far in the third period.
For this young man, as he's been awesome, Sandy Pellick, and it's a great start to our World Junior Conference.
Growing up, I didn't have a positive sense of self-identity as an Indigenous person. But being a mother changes everything. I decided that, I want better for her. I was self-taught seamstress. Using TikTok has allowed me to expand my home-based business into my first storefront, redouble their space within 6 months. My daughter to see me grow has been extremely powerful because I am that representation for her.
Yep. So now we're 3-1 here, going into last like 7-8 minutes of the third period here. Again, really dominant period by Sweden so far. We're looking, obviously Sandy Pellick has taken over this game. Played really dominant hockey, super impressive. it looks like Sandy Pelika got a delay of game penalty just now, so a couple penalties for him so far. And went to go clear the puck out. It looks like Sandy Pelika went to clear the puck out and cleared it out into the crowd here. So the puck over glass penalty.
I think of my friend Dick Roder.
So they're Slovakia on a power play here. This is their last chance, I think, to really do anything super impressive here. Should be exciting to see what happens here going into the rest of the game, and we'll see what happens. But very curious on what we're able to do here with Sweden and Slovakia and how this game's going to finish. But so far it's been all Swedes, and this is again the last opportunity I think for Slovakia to really put damage in. If they score here, I think there's a real chance of them being able to get back into this game. But if they don't here, I think it's Sweden's got it locked up, and we're looking at a 4-1 game. So we shall see what happens. But so far, it looks to be Slovakia and Sweden right now. It looks to be that Sweden looks to be the winner here in this game. Weak start to the power play here for Slovakia. They've first 40 seconds haven't really done much with it.
Back again from his own zone. Slovakia running an attack in this game. Wojtek on speed. He'll shift and chase after the ball. Wojtek back shoulder from Belander. The pass is good to get it back to the blue line. And another good clear by Brad Berg, who skated at the center and then dumps it in.
Hard to have a good power play when you can't establish zone time.
Jaworski, one more time over the line. He crashes into the corner. And again, they just can't get it set up here on this power play. Luka Radovojevic, he'll throw around. For the tournament all-star UNC tournament, we covered in Finland back in April. And again, Sweden, a great drop on the penalty kill and turned that well into his net to play this. He likes to handle a puck and he will. Trying to get it up quickly. But he lost the puck, right? So he's done. And that's going to do it for this power play. As the captain will come up no shots.
Then power play killed here now by Slovakia. Slovakia fails to convert on the power play. 6 minutes left here in the third period. It's all Sweden. We've only had 7 shots since the 5-minute mark of the first period. As I speak, they put up 2 more shots, and Tila makes a couple of nice saves.
And again, just getting it into the net area. And there's a rebound and a second chance. When your skill level is not high deeper into your lineup, you got to find different ways to score goals. One of the things, looking at the rosters throughout this whole tournament, I see 3, 4 really good gifted scorers in the top lines, maybe 5 if you give a little bit of, I guess, latitude. But so if you don't have that skill, you're going to have to find ways to score in different ways. And I think we're going to see a lot more low-scoring games amongst the bigger countries in this tournament than we have in the past.
Sandy Pelika folded that one in. Urban will hold as Sandy Pelika just won 3-point game in the SHL, the top league in Sweden this year. And his first game of the season with multiple goals. He's got 2
So we got 6 minutes left here in this game. So far, it's been all Sandy and Pelika has been the big star in this game. Should be exciting to see what we have going forward for the rest of this game. But very, very impressive game so far for Sweden. I think they've really shown themselves to be the medal favorites. Sandy Pelika gets a hat trick. Wow. Sandy Pelika gets a hat trick as a defenseman. It's some pretty rare company with that one, but I think there's only been 2 or 3 that I remember distinctly that have gotten a hat trick in this. But good for Sandin Pelika. Great wrist shot in front.
Just watch the feet work. Watch where his hands are on the stick, and then watch.
Yeah, I think ASP is going to be in the National Hockey League sooner rather than later.
And that is exactly what
Great wrist shot. Just buried it through Urban.
Pelika is, a brilliant young defender. Another hat tube comes out on the ice. As an organization, you're trying to find impact players. The Detroit Red Wings, I think Dylan Larkin's an impact player. I think that Lucas Raymond's an impact player. Moritz Seider, an impact player. I think Simon Edmondson can be that. Sandy Pelika will be more of that and more. So Steve Eisenman with the team in Detroit, and yeah, expectations are high. And yes, they're used to winning. But as you start to look at how they're playing and with the number of players that can be impact players, there's a reason for optimism.
Early you talked about Craig Augustine connected the Americans. He's a great young prospect coming up.
Sebastian Cossa, who's worked his way and apprenticed in the minor leagues, is really developing nicely.
Here's the Borski. McCarthy was rolling in, but they're going to call that. Oh, look out. That was, it's icing. And then Dvorsky lost an edge and went hard into the boards.
So one of the things I learned as a manager, when your team is a little bit younger, and Steve Eisenman went through this with Derek Lalonde. Derek Lalonde's a really good coach, and he'll find his way back to the NHL. He's that good. But you get to a point with your younger players where you need some more experience. I found that out when I was in Calgary. Daryl Sutter came in, and our young players needed that. I think Todd McClellan's a terrific coach, and I think that those younger players in Detroit are going to benefit from his guidance behind the bench.
Here's a possible 2-on-1. McCarthy leading the way, pass in front on one stick. That was Lindstein, got back and broke it up very neatly. Lindstein still working for it. Torshville will pop that free. And took the check there from Skirback.
One of the things I love about Lindstein there is just how poised he is. He just comes back through the middle. He understands where the play might go. He just intercepts it casually, calmly, no harm done.
Got 4 minutes left here. Sandy Pelika, though, man, this has been his breakout party. If you were to tell me based on this game, you asked me the question whether or not he's NHL ready, I would have to say that he is. He's just been really just unbelievably dominant. Another goal as I'm talking about it. Looks like let's see the 5th goal scorer. 1 sec. Eriksson. It would be 14 is the goal scorer. Yeah, Linus Eriksson is the one who scored.
You're connected without the puck, and then everybody's moving into the spots. And now
another great shot by Eriksson, man. Wow. What a rocket. Or a band, man. Like, you know, if you're watching, you're stat watching this game and you haven't watched this game at all, Urban's been tremendous. I think the Slovakian defense has really dropped off in the third. Really impressive game from him so far. He's just, you know, I think despite the fact that it's been 6 or 7 goals, he's just a really talented player. Definitely somebody who I think could get some looks at the draft. It's a shame he couldn't really find his groove. But it's just one of those things, man. It's the Slovaks had a great first period, and that was about it. And then you watch the depth here of the Swedens and the Slovaks, and Sweden came out big, and you know, just clearly the more talented group. So, kudos to them and their ability to be really talented and skilled and finding their opportunities where they need to. And you know, it's just been super impressive to watch them go and play and do what they've needed to do. You know, I think Sweden, like I said, is the team to watch here going into this tournament. And hard not to like what Sandy Pelika has done in this tournament for them already. He's been tremendous through this entire game. I know it's the Slovaks. I know he's got 3 goals and 1 assist right now, but he's been dominant through this whole thing. Dominant through this entire game. It's one of the more impressive defensive performances. One of the more impressive production performances I've seen from a defenseman at the World Juniors. He's been dominant. Like it's not even close. I think he could play in the NHL right now. It's really fun to see what he's been able to do. He's been the clear star of this game, and you gotta give him an immense amount of credit. He's been really important in this game and been a real factor. And obviously, playing in the Swedish hockey league, it's really hard to score. It's really hard to do the things you want to do, and he's developed himself into one hell of a defenseman. So.
Picked up by Akarchi. Over the stick to Shatan. Back fires it in. Under 3 to go. We have Czechia, Switzerland, our second game. Later on tonight at TD Place, looking forward to that. And the big one, Canada, Finland, later on tonight, and that's at Ottawa on a 9-game road trip right now.
Sending Pelican. What he does as a defender, watch how he does. He goes into space, stops, and then the puck comes right out of the zone. If you have a blood pressure machine on the coach, Magnus Havlet, it's low blood pressure. It's high comfort level when he's on the ice. Because it doesn't matter where he is or what the situation calls for, Sandy Pelican delivers.
We saw it for the first 2 years of the UAT, Craig, and he was one of my favorite players to watch, the way he played.
Yeah, this is just utter dominance now from Sweden at this point. You can call this a game. And ooh.
That'll be a big warning call on Gustafson. And that's right in the numbers. Yako is hopefully okay. That was right in the numbers, and he went down with a thundering check from behind. And you hope Daniel Yanko's okay.
That was a really stupid hit by Gustafson, taking a really stupid hit. Not anything that you would want to see going into these tournaments and going into this game, and real shame to see that happen.
And it appears that Yanko's okay. So penalty coming up, and we'll find out how much as we step aside here.
He's likely going to get suspended for that. So, Nashville fans can look to see that he'll probably be suspended for that hit. He'll probably be out a couple games. Really wasn't that impressive through the game anyway, so not a huge loss for Sweden, but a really kind of weird hit. Type of hit that a lot of people want to get out of hockey. Just kind of a really questionable hit there. So, obviously the Slovaks are gonna, they get a couple goals here. They're back in it, but the game's pretty much over. That being said, I'm going to be getting off the stream here as soon as the game ends. Moving on to my next stream, which is going to be the U.S.-Germany game. I will be doing as much as I can to cover that as well as I can. And, if you guys want to follow me from there to that other live stream, I will put the link in here. It's going to be a few minutes before I get back on there, but let me just share the link with you guys in the comments. That way you guys have an easy, smooth transition. But those that are still following along, I just put the link to the U.S.-Germany live stream that I'm going to have into the chat. Wow, I gave him only 2 minutes. That's shocking. So I put the link to the next live stream below. I will jump on there as soon as this game is over, so it might be a couple minutes late, but it won't be too long. But yeah, the link to the live stream is in the chat. Feel free to follow me there, and yeah. So, tip from Yanko, almost hit the crossbar. Nice shot there from Maxim Sturbach, who honestly, Maxim Sturbach, of the defenders in this game, outside of Pelika, I think has been the second best in my opinion. He's been really super steady. Isn't doing anything amazing, but he's been pretty good in his own right. Like I said, poor Urban's been just loaded on in net, but I think Sturbach has been a real steadying presence back in the defensive zone. Radivo Jevic has not been that impressive at all. I think he's been, and there's a goal there. Slovakia scores. Yanko scores.
They direct the puck into the net area. You establish a presence in front of the net. You look for a rebound. It's exactly what ends up happening here. Karchi gets the puck into the feet of Khalil, and then the rebound comes right into Yanko. Just a really good play by Yanko to pick up that puck. This is how you have to try to find a way to score at different times. Not everything's going to be beautiful. Not everything's going to be flashy. But get the puck directed into the area.
Karchik made a really nice play there.
By Yanko to grab the puck and then put it right between the legs of Philly.
He will turn 20 years of age on January 9th. Just after the tournament, plays in the USHL for the Youngstown Fountains. He's going to play his NCAA hockey at UMass. Committed to go there.
Kyle Connor played for the Youngstown Fountains.
Sturbach got the assist there. So Sturbach 2 assists so far in this game. Like I said, has been really impressive in this game. Deserved to have a little bit more from him. And,
And behind the play, we got looks like interference penalty coming up. So
Victor Eklund can drive an opponent crazy because he's relentless. He just always is going. He's always going. Number 23, minor penalty, interference. Always in the mix, always in the hunt. He's in the battle all the time. And over the course of a game, that can really push you over the edge. It happened earlier in the game. Barchik cross-checked him from behind, took a penalty. Now he gets an interference penalty. Victor Eklund has that type of abrasiveness in his game.
And Magnus Appler, the head coach, is putting the big guns out with a 5-2 lead. 1:05 to go in the game. And as you see, Eklund drew the penalty. Enstrom, Unger, Sorum, Sandy, Pelika, and Valander. Top unit out for Sweden on this power play. Maybe pop one more here in this game. And again, look at those weird bounces. Sandy Pelika was ready for the puck and off the course and eluded him. Something to get used to in this building, no doubt. Valander, some speed over the line, lost it in his skates. Sweden still onside. Enstrom. Dishes off, back up top. Valander, Sandy Pelika. Did he get 4 for number 4? Valander, Sandy Pelika. Will dish across, gets it back. One-time drive, and her pad got the pads on that time. 30 seconds left in the game. Valander, long shot, rebound. Available as her band stopped it. He'll lay out, and he will get it in the glove as Sweden pushing with 27.2 to go.
So we look at the power play as being something that can be a difference maker in close games. So late in the game in a 5-2 game, Magnus Hadlett understands the real game practice we can get on our power play matters. And it's not about the game schedule. It's about short tournament. We've got to get every area of our game to the highest level possible. And that's why that top group is out there on the power play. I've compared Sandy Pelika to Sergei Zubov, but I said earlier,
Great shot right on Stenberg. Bouncing block. Prevent a good job there.
put up the key word in Zubov. That's good.
Cool. All right, everybody, the game's over. Just ended 5-2 loss for the Slovaks. I'll provide a recap probably later on in the day, if not tomorrow morning. If you could do so, please like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. Follow me in the next live stream. I'm going to be doing a US-Germany live stream that's going to be on very shortly. You can follow me right now from there. I'm going to be leaving from there, going right on to there. So thanks again for all the content. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next stream.